Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, 4 nerds by nerds, hanging out with this nerd.
The Nerdarchy Ted.
Today we're going to delve back into Starfinder core rule book. This time we're talking races, the Ysoki.
Jump down the description below where you can sign up for Nerdarchy the newsletter, get weekly gaming tips, as well as learn how to game with Nerdarchy.
We're diving back into the core rule book. This is the last race we have to do of the new races that have been introduced to Starfinder. And we are doing, I'm not sure how you would say it, but it looks like Ysoki.
Ysoki. One of those will work.
Are they like samurais? They used to, fight alongside Mutant Ninja Turtles. Maybe not. But yeah, these guys are pretty cool. They're quick both in limb and in mind, but they ain't so strong, and they get the least amount of hit points of anybody.
Yeah, that is tiny at 2 hit points.
2 hit points, +2 to Dex, +2 to Intelligence, -2 to Strength.
So you're probably not going soldier with these guys.
Maybe not, but they're kind of scrappy and feisty.
So +2 Dex, +2 Intelligence, as Dave says, -2 to Strength.
Right, size and type. This is a little bit of new territory here. This is our first small humanoid, and they have, as like everybody else, they are their subtype.
Exactly. So the cool thing is they have cheek pouches, as many real life rodents do, so they can put something that's got up to a 1 bulk in their cheeks, no problems.
1 cubic foot of items is what it says. So my mind goes, how many grenades can I stick in my mouth?
I was reading Technomancer as well, so I'm like, can I put my my spelljack in there?
I think you would be able to, if you didn't want to just have it like embedded on your flesh or something.
Well,
They also get dark vision, so they can see in the dark. They have an ability called Moxie.
So this is pretty cool. They can stand prone as a swift action. They don't take the normal penalties for being flat-footed.
And not only that, they are good at They are good at tumbling. So tumbling through enemy squares, avoid attacks of opportunity, that kind of stuff. They get a bonus for that. So they it goes along with them being small and nimble.
And it works out perfectly. And then they get a +2 to 3 different skills, which I think really shows to how smart they really are.
Scrounger. They get a +2 bonus to engineering, stealth, and survival checks. So they're really basically they're like tunnel rats, right? Except for instead of tunnels, they crawl through the crawl spaces of starships and stuff.
And that kind of goes with what they say, above the old adage that every starship needs.
I guess it depends who you ask, but yeah.
So if you're looking to play a Ysoki, you want to talk fast and you play a Ysoki if you want to talk fast and often, have seemingly boundless energy, adore technology, and you're savvy and street smart.
Yeah, these guys can be a little bit loud and impetuous, where other races are concerned. These are the kind of guys that make friends fast and enemies just as fast. So they're going to be they're pure chaos is what they are, really. And the way I would sum these guys up, have you guys seen Guardians of the Galaxy, maybe? Like, if I was playing Ysoki, I would just play it like Rocket Raccoon. Because I feel like that's their spirit animal.
I could get behind that. He's very, very tech. He's very, very small. He's smart. And, he bonds to the crew pretty quickly,
So one of the weird things about these guys, or interesting things, is when it comes to the Homeworld section. And that is where, there's a lot of races, they don't have a homeworld, or they have a homeworld. Well, these, they're kind of credited from coming from Atacon, or Akaton. But at the same time, they're but they're also on a bunch of other planets too, before star travel has actually been invented. So, either somehow they got transplanted or, similar evolutions, when it was similar evolutions on separate planets.
I'm saying they started somewhere, a magic portal, that whisked sections away to various different places just because of
the way rodents breed.
The way they not necessarily the way they breed to start, but the way that they're inquisitive and the way they're technologically inclined. I think it's very easy for them to have come up with something like this, even if it was by accident, and then it tore apart wherever they were originally from and scattered them amongst the galaxy. Then, because they bred like rats, literally,
They
they're
adapted.
everywhere. Yeah.
So and it's cool, and they all kind of talk about like chances are, wherever you go, you're Ysoki, and there's a population there, you like have a cousin or something. So that's kind of funny, and it's like I feel like there's gonna be some like fun and funny stereotypes you're gonna be able to play with these guys.
If I were to play one of these guys in a game, I would find every single Ysoki, or I'd find a Ysoki everywhere I went, and be like, oh, this guy's family, and just insert that in.
They're always a cousin, yeah. He's just got cousins everywhere. So physical description, they're like 3 to 4 foot tall. Obviously, they resemble giant rats, humanoid rats. They even, some even call them rat men. The females and the males are basically indistinguishable from each other. They kind of act and dress the same, so it might be something, only Ysoki actually know.
Or maybe do they? Do they have to figure it out the hard way?
Maybe, who knows? Or maybe they don't care. But no, and then they also have long semi-prehensile tails, which they use. That helps them get those bonuses to those checks and makes them better at moving around in zero G gravity.
So as we said earlier, their relations are pretty tight. They do bond strongly to their family, but they can easily bond to a group of, say, adventurers, and it goes into a whole story about like how they could quickly become your friend and defend you in a bar fight after a brief conversation. So it's a very easy way to get them engrossed into a party or involved in an adventuring party in the typical ye old tavern scene.
Essentially, within 5 minutes of meeting the Ysoki, he's decided whether he likes you or not.
Yep.
And nothing is probably going to change that.
So, and then they go into the different relations. They get along best with Lashuntas, whom they've traded with for a millennia. They appreciate humanity's pluck and the Shirin's devotion to community, but they're a little too calm for Ysoki's. The Shirins.
Oh, the Shirins, yeah. And they also, they're not overly fond of the Vesk. They can kind of relate to the androids in the sense that androids have escaped slavery and been kind of held down, and the Ysoki kind of feel the same way.
The Vesk are a little bit just too stern and military and blah blah domineering. They're not
conquering. They're like, no one likes being conquered. They take it personally. Then you go into the adventure section, and these guys actually could be fairly good at almost anything. The Solarian is the only class that I go, definitely not, because you're kind of dex based for the most part. But even that, like the -2 to strength in the Starfinder system, is less of an obstruction to playing the character you want to play or the class you want to play than it would have been maybe in Pathfinder.
It goes into that they make very good technomancers, mechanics, and even operatives, because operatives are all about dex and intelligence, and boom, dex and intelligence.
So they could pretty much play anything, even soldiers. I mean, they'd be great sharpshooters. The mobile fighting styles would work really good for these guys. The style that I kind of like for these guys is the only one that probably wouldn't be that great, and that's the explosives one, because that one does rely on strength to a certain degree. But man, I just think it's funny for these guys to keep like grenades in their cheek pouches. I don't know if it's a particularly good idea, but why not?
Just the overall strength has a pretty high usability in your typical fantasy game, but once you actually enter into star combat, strength is not necessarily as important because melee damage just doesn't hold up to.
You're using blasters and you're piloting ships and you have zero G gravity. Yeah, so it's not a huge detriment to these guys, and I could definitely see them being great, but at the same time, great technomancers, great mechanics.
So then, of course, you get into the names, and reading through here, it's so totally amusing. They tend to go for nicknames because it builds on that whole camaraderie and that family feeling. So you could have names like Sparks, Twitch, or Snack. I would totally play a Ysoki with the name Snack. I think that's awesome.
I totally did play a goblin with the name Snacks.
But then they actually get into other legit names and family names that they might be called, and you can, as always, you can use them or not.
So, what do you guys think? Would you play Ysoki in your game? Are you playing Ysoki? Tell us all about it. We got a place for it. It's in the comments below. While you're at it, like, share, and subscribe.
While you're down there, don't forget to check the description and get your own copy of Starfinder.
So until next time,
Stay nerdy.